Hello! I'm here now. I'm probably gonna get the stream started a bit sooner than I normally would, but you know what? That's fine. I'm sure people don't mind too much about getting more stream time. Or whatever. Well, how are y'all doing? How y'all doing? Okay. Just I'm gonna wait like a few minutes for people to start appearing properly. And then... yeah. I'll get with people to show up, then I'll get the stream probably started. See, so you probably should be doing your schoolwork, whatever, instead of watching a stream, but you know what, you can do your own thing, I don't care. Alright. So see, I can now see I'm definitely live, that's always nice. I have like music for the stream too. Yeah. I don't know why I chose this, but it works. So yeah. I'm gonna get the stream started by basically going over what I'm ranking each of these plants actually on. There are three main categories. Concept, the tactical usage, or whatever I call it, and just fun. Concept is basically just the inherent idea of a plant. So for instance, Repeater is a Peashooter that fires twice. A Repeater is a Peashooter that fires across 3 lanes. Inherently, I'm going to consider this thing more unique because it's not just 2 Peashooters in a single space. Meanwhile, this is going to be less unique because it's just 2 Peashooters in a single space. So that makes any sense. So that's kind of how, that's like a big part of how I'm going to be ranking all these plants. But they're not the only way. There's a few other things. I actually don't know where Repeater is in Parasites. Yeah, this is where Peashooter is now, Repeater is. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing is just tactical utility. Basically, I'm trying to rank how interesting these plants are like, how they impact your strategy. So for instance, to go through Repeater and Reaper example, Repeater is generally going to be more unique because you have to worry about where you're placing them, and you have to actively change the way your defense looks to make good use of it. Repeater, I mean, kind of guess that's how my appears in Repeater already, but Repeater isn't. You just put it with the left, it's the same way you do any other plant. That's kind of what I'm going for with tactical utility, but also just like what options the plant opens up. So for instance, a plant like Magni offers a ton of strategy because it allows you to convert Sun directly into damage. A plant like Tile Turnip allows you to muck around with plant food in a more fun way. That's kind of my tactical utility, if that makes any sense. Just usage, just making sure these plants are more interesting and actually impact something as a whole. Fun is finally just pretty much in the level how fun the plant is actually use, which is pretty self-explanatory. Does that make any sense? So, do people understand what I mean by here? Peashooter is more unique. True. Rank them randomly instead of a normal adventure order. I could. I just kind of want to have some plants done first. So, yeah. So, do you understand that now? Do you understand, like, how we rank these plants? Again, I'm ignoring, like, a lot of the stats here. I'm going to be considering some mods here, but I'm not really going to be considering them as in, like... I'm not going to consider, like, Eccles Toadstool, which is not Toadstool, or, like, I reworked Hocus Pocus to be Hocus Crocus or whatever. I don't even know what the official name is. If we need it, I also have a few tabs open. This is just a page of plans in PVZ 2. And I have Zach's channel open so I can just look things up here. Because I'm probably going to need to do this at some point. So, yeah. Should we get started, or should we just muck around for a bit longer? Will we rank these based on vanilla or based on mods? Both. I'm going to be considering, like, all interpretations, but I will just be making sure that it's still normal. Will this come a video? I don't know. So, yeah. Let's get started. Firstly, just gonna get these out of the way. These guys are all average. They're, like, totally neutral in every sense of the word. There's nothing really unique to these guys. They're kind of just plants that exist because they have to exist. Just remember my phone is out of charge. I don't have my charger downstairs. No, I don't. Oh well. That's gonna make my life a bit awkwarder. These three just don't do much. Like, Peashooter, your standard shooter, basically totally average by default. You can't really put them anywhere else. Sunflower, similar. It's the average sun producer. It's an average plant. Walnut is less, like, needed, but he doesn't really add anything alone. It's other iterations of walls that really go anywhere. You'll also notice, by the way, I have above average, very good, best of the best for above. Like, plants that I slightly like will go here, really like go here, my favorites will go here, and vice versa. So you'll see a lot of plants in the middle three tiers, I imagine, but we'll see how it goes. I'm assuming nobody's going to complain about that. Will they place emphasis more on vanilla mods? I'm placing emphasis based on concept. Not really stats of all, I'm just talking about how these plants actually are in general. This could probably be a long stream. Yep. I might make the stream public still, so don't worry about like going unless it's where my streams are. Jesus Christ, I'm doing great today. Oh dear. So yeah. Now potato mine. Above average. Very specific reason to this. I was kind of thinking about this for a while. Potato mine isn't like a staple plant in the same way that the others are. The other plants are kind of like baseline things you kind of need to have. Potato mine you don't need to have in a PVZ setting, but it's the way it works is very interesting. It has like the mine aspect to it, you require a lot of strategy to use it. Conceptually, it's fun. Its visual design is iconic as hell, it's my favorite of the core plant designs in the entire game. Fun to use, it's alright. It's not unfun to use, it's interesting, you have to think about it a lot. And yeah, that's potato mine. Now we're cabbage on below average. Everybody's just like really looking down on cabbage, yeah. Oh dear. Well, I guess it's probably just get us out of the way. Ew. Let me explain cabbage pole quickly. Cabbage pole doesn't do anything. Its main gimmick is literally only applicable for like 4 or 5 worlds. Its job is to go past graves, but only Dark Ages and Ancient Egypt even have graves. Other worlds that can do something into the gimmicks of a world is Frostbite Caves. I think it's literally just Frostbite Caves where it enters any GI to jump through other. Technically interacts with surfboards, octos, importers, but you want to destroy those anyways. You don't really want to keep them alive, so it's just meh. Beyond that, it also only interacts with like 2 zombies differently from Peashooter. Like Barrel Roller, Excavator, and Troglodyte, and that's about it. There's nothing really interesting about Cabbage Pulse, so... Importers. So, yeah. Importers because they drop tents and things. It's GI. I don't like Cabbage Pulse very much. So, yeah. I just put it there because it doesn't need to exist and doesn't do anything. It's conceptually boring, it's not really interesting to use at all, it's just a worse Peashooter most of the time, yeah. Bloomerang average. I'm not sure about Bloomerang. I'm gonna go back to Bloomerang later. Great Buster, I don't like it. I don't like Great Buster. So, yeah. I don't have any interest towards Great Buster as a plant, it's really meh. It's just removes grades. That's it. You don't even need to use Great Buster. It's free. There's no challenge in using it. But it's only here because, I mean, it's a seeds waster, so it kind of needs to be somewhere higher. It can't just be in the bottom tier of all tiers. It has a purpose. It does something, but why does it exist? I don't know. Continuing with the negative ones, Repeater. Below average. Weird selection for a plant to be below average, I'm aware. But, like, come on, like, P-Pod is an actually interesting version of Repeater in, like, every way. Repeater is really boring. It's literally just 2 Peashooters in one space. Like, come on. It's boring. Repeater's no class. I don't even care about being a class, it's just boring. It's 2 Peashooters in one. Group 20 a new tier. Exactly. I'm like covering this base and like not on power or anything. Repeater is like the best plan in the game in like most mods. It's just kind of whatever. Repeater a new tier now. I would do that, like, I don't know. Repeater is so much better than Peapod. No, it's not. What does Peapod is a much more interesting plant. Like, think about it. Repeater is literally just 2 Peashooters in one tile. It's nothing very original. It's less original than cabbages, it's only higher because it has a purpose in the game. It's a generic heavy plant. In most mods, when you want to get something done, you bring Repeater out, which is nice, but, I just don't care for this thing much at all. Because my son, I don't care. I don't care about people's stats, I'm caring about like what these plants actually do. So, yeah. Next one. People seem really annoyed with repeater placement. Let's do... Iceberg. Iceberg! I think it's average. I'm not sure about this one. The issue with Iceberg really is that it's so, like... It's just free as a single zombie, that's it. It's always free. It technically has radius in most mods, but that doesn't really change how you use it. It's kind of a generic staller. I can't really justify putting it higher than average, but I don't really want to put it higher. I'm not installing this thing, I think it's totally fine, it's just nothing really big. Snap bunch of iceberg lets everyone in the map randomly. Yeah, that is a problem. People really want me to put iceberg higher up, but I just can't, like... Okay. Why should I put iceberg in, like, above average? I'll say this is, like, kind of the highest thing go for me. Why should it go here? I want to see, like, actual reasons for that. Because I might just be missing something here that I just didn't think of. And I kind of do want to make sure you guys have some say. It's cute. Plant food. Just some power goals here. Is it? Oh, it is. I didn't even realize it was there. Neat. It's plant food ability. Is plant food really the only reason? I don't know. Yeah. I know what Iceberg's good for. This is not a tier list of power. Come on. Good for early game. Meh. I'll call it put an average. I'm only really... The only reasonable thing that I really brought up was that it is... That has like a really fun and interesting plant food effect, which it definitely does, but that's it. And yeah, I'll put it above average. I think a plant food effect is interesting enough, but it's worth putting higher up. It's one of the most interesting plant food effects in the game. At least very fun. I really enjoy using it. I will occasionally bring Iceberg for the plant food effect, so I guess I can't really put an average. Okay. Bloomerang. Above average. I quite like Bloomerang. It's interesting enough to use. You do have to, like... it really does encourage usage of, like, instas in a really interesting way, where you kind of have to, like, just specifically seek out, like, bug heads and things. It's a very nice early game plant. I don't think it's quite interesting. I can't believe I'm going to the point where I'm already saying Bloomerang is interesting. I enjoy Bloomerang. It's different from a normal stall due to how it's only temporary compared to a lot of permanent stalls, maybe? I'm talking about stalls in, like, Stolia. So, Stolia is better for me. I do enjoy Stolia more than Iceberg. But, I don't know. I don't really like Stolia too much either. I think Bloomerang just does its job fine. It's above average. I don't particularly care for it too much. It's just... yeah. That's it. Let's see who should I put next. Spikeweed is S tier. Obvious reasons. I love Spikeweed. It's one of the most interesting plants to me to just use. So, yeah. I'll put it up here. Below average... I want to put something else in below average. What do I put down here? I'm kind of just looking for plant putting below average. You're not below average, you're worse than that. I can put Toilet here. No, I don't know. Toilet's just average, I think. Well, whatever, I'll just pick... You know, I'll put Toilet in average. Toilet is just a tankier walnut, and that's it. It's a heavier wall, it does things fine. It's perfectly average as a wall is, because it's such a default plant. You'll notice that a lot of average plants are going to be, like, very much the default as far as plants go, so, yeah. Like, all Toilet really has is more HP and encounters some zombies better. That's it. Can I just make a Spikeweed tier? That is a decent point. Nah, I'll try and make it slightly serious for a bit. Line reads below. Line read now is bringing up. Okay. Next up, I try to do Bong Choi so I get all of AE done. I like Bong Choi. Bong Choi is fun. It's a nice early, again, just a nice early game plant. Inherent stalling is always fun to muck with. Bok choy has a lot of fun synergy because it's like the de facto melee plant. Like, icebergs is fun with, walnuts, stallias, icebergs. Basically any plant in the game has something fun, interesting they can do with bok choy, and it's never really a bad pick. The issue is just kind of a bit boring. Like, he doesn't do anything flashy, he is just a melee plant, which is fine in its own right. It's just kind of such an average plant. I know Spikeweed is fairly average, but he's my boy. I like him. A Twin Sun... It is just two sunflowers, but I do think it actually does become something else because of what type of plant it is, I think. Conceptually, it's boring as hell. And tactically, I think it is a very interesting plant because you basically have to rely on having a ton more sun now. So, like, you have to run more plants like this or this. And you have less space you have to use, so you can put, like, more space-needy plants in this place, like, E-berry kind of comes to mind. I think Twin Sunflower is below average, actually. I was gonna put in, like, below average, but nah, it's really not. It's very interesting. And no plans with Repeater yet. Snoopy! Okay, question. Question about Snoopy. Do I consider Snoopy, do I consider Snoopy, as the old version of Snoopy or the new version of Snoopy? Because Snoopy has received a massive change fairly recently, or at least in that's like a year or so. Do I consider the old or new? New, old, new. Okay, it's 50-50. I think it's actually leaning towards new. Yeah, it's definitely leaning towards new. Okay, cool. I'll cover this thing as if it's in its new form. Below average. I don't like the new Snoopy very much. It's definitely stronger than it used to be. I'm not going to claim it's, like, weak. I just don't enjoy it very much. That's it. I can't really say much about it. I don't know, I don't like its flashing freeze, that's not fun. It's just busted. Where do you put the old one? Probably average. I don't know. I just don't like I just like the AoE chill, it's not very interesting. And it's also just AoE freeze, really. It's a permastaller. Permastallers are broken in general, I don't enjoy it. So yeah. Do you even read chat? I do, actually. I'm just not listening to chat most of the time. It's my thing, what do you know? You have to buy it, though. Yeah, no, but I try to, like, avoid covering these plants if they're premium. Like, I'm not gonna consider premium plants as premium as if they're just, like, normal plants. So, yeah. And that should be all of Aiden too, so nice. Colonel! Pommy wants to put Colonel in very good. I don't know why I want to put him very good. Okay. Conceptually interesting enough. Every now and again he'll throw butter, but does lower damage overall than like equal plants with the same cost. But he has a chance to butter, and butter is a very unique condition. It's one of the few ways you can slow a zombie to like 0 speed. The only other way really is like stun, which is very rare, and iceberg with freeze. I don't really... I think it's definitely very interesting. When you're playing Colonel, you always have to plan around Colonel, and there's a lot of ways you can do that too. Colonel spam with like plants like Spike Rock or Spikeweed come to mind. It works well with plants like Bok Choy and Snapdragon. Yeah, this is gonna be weird. I guess I'm going with some guy very good. I think he offers a lot of interesting mechanics. So yeah, I like him. Why not? Snapdragon? Maybe. I have no clue I'm going for Snapdragon. I should be electric Green Colonel first, so. Colonel Sinji, yeah. Everyone wants to put Snapdragon at the top. I don't know, why do you guys want Snapdragon at the top? I'm curious. Is it just because of its power, or is it just anything else? Everyone's being a lie here, Snapdragon sucks. Yeah, I don't like Snapdragon very much, but I can't really put it too low. Average, top, average. Nobody wants this guy to be below average. I think it's just above average. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I'm gonna put this guy in above average. It's not a bad plan. I don't really have any qualms against it. It's pretty good. I just don't love it. Its concept is, again, like, these are just the early plants. There's a lot of, like, very normal concepts, which, whatever. Let's do Spike Rock next. Very good. It's just a less interesting Spikeweed to me, but it's still a Spikeweed, so it has fun synergies regardless. That's kind of always going to be a thing, so yeah. A Lightning Reed, below average. I don't hate Lightning Reed, it doesn't do anything too interesting, but you can definitely whip out some fun stuff with it. I'm presuming these two are non-controversial picks. Does anybody actually like these two? There's like a fly in here. Why is there a fly in here? Whatever. Really ranking the one seed packet premiums? Yes. They're down here. We just haven't got to them yet. Is anybody going to play with these, or are they all fine with them? Black Rock Planto? Yeah, it's Living Rock. Can we just not at least one of these plants and never mention it? I'll probably do it at some point. Deserves a spring bean. Everybody's like talking about spring bean now. Okay, I'll put spring bean where it needs to be. I don't like spring bean. That's only because I'm considering solely vanilla interpretation. Because vanilla interpretation is this guy is literally only useful in piracy sometimes. I don't like that interpretation in the slightest. I think it's boring as hell. It's just such a generic, iffy thing for a single world. If we're considered modest spring bean, then average, but we're not, so it's just gonna be I don't like these ones. The best here, obviously. Everybody is so mad about spring bean. Why do you want spring bean to be an S tier? Do nothing vanilla too. Spring bean is useless in vanilla, so yeah. Everyone is so annoyed at spring bean. Oh no. Spring bean plus beloved delete. Yeah, but that will actually change, so yeah. Spring bean is average. Spring bean in most mods is average, so yeah. Chat has no idea what the list is about. It doesn't. You know what? Give me a second. I'll just create like a chat thing and the things I can remember. So this will be Guys Stop. The best name. This tier list isn't about power, remember. Okay, now I can... Now I have to make it black so I can bloody see it. No, that makes it worse. Green it is, we're making it green. Plants. That's way too bright. That's unseeable. Whatever. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Try 5%. I know. I know nobody's gonna read it, but it's important to have it in here just in case. That's not a good number. A good color. Red. Red could work. I'll try red. Graphic design, my beloved. True. Can I add an outline at all? That would be nice. That just looks awful. Whatever. It does a job fine. I can't actually do an outline. Purple. Yeah, let's try purple quickly. I'm spending more time on this than I'm actually being actual stream. Good lord. Dark purple could look quite nice. That looks alright, I think. Yeah, that looks alright. It's been moving around a lot, so it'll be fine. It's fine, you just have to deal with it, I don't. Ha. Okay, so next plant. Let's get to the next plant before doing that for a year. Power Lily. Conceptually, conceptually it spawns a plant food, which is a very unique ability, as far as the game is concerned. Tactically, yes, this is complete. You can create plant food strategy with it. The main downside, I think, beyond like the fact it's a premium, is probably is probably just like it's just not particularly fun to use. What makes parallelly fun to use is the fun to use it with. I don't think that's enough to put in like the average tiers. I think it's definitely above average as far as a plant goes. Like above average. I'll put in very good. I know it's a premium, but it does a lot. The most boring plant in the game. It's boring on a conceptual level, but it's one of those plants where just the amount of strategy it creates is, yeah. Oh, you can see teams? Yes. I'd love to use tile turn over Philly all day. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I'm really just saying this thing in terms of power, like plant food strategies. It's very important to me, so yeah. I also realized I forgot to put chat available, so there you go. You're now on screen, guys. The world will see your terrible takes. I need to go create a box around you, don't I? God damn it. Where's a box? Whatever, you just have a little bit. And now chat's going mad because everyone can see this thing. Moving on. Repeater, above average. I think Repeater is just an interesting repeater. You change the way to conceptually, yeah, it's not the most interesting thing in the world. It's not the most fun thing to use, but it's like because the way you have to like tactically build around it, where you have to like leave certain lanes open, you have to move your sunflowers around. Not many plants do that, and I have to really appreciate Repeater for doing that. Coconut Cannon. Coconut Cannon is the most average piece of garbage. I don't like Coconut Cannon very much, but I can't really say it's not just because I'm personally biased against it. It is like the first manual plant, and I can agree with that. I won't put him average. The thing is that I'm kind of thinking the fact you have like Magni, Banana, Holly, even like Jacko is like way more interesting. That's kind of my issue. So, I'll put an average for now. I might bump it up a bit. Just right now I'm really aware that there's like 5,000 plants and above average. I'll take down Twin Sun. I don't think Twin Sun deserves to be there as much as some of the other plants do. It offers a new strategy, but it is such a conceptually boring plant. Maybe. No. I'll bring down Bloomerang. I like Bloomerang a lot, though I just don't think it's good. I think it's conceptually just not interesting enough. That should help bouncing that a bit. I could put Walnut down here. Walnut's kind of middling. It's too light as a wall to do much. Light walls aren't particularly helpful. Well, whatever. A Cherry Bomb, below average. Is it below average? Well, average. I'll put an average. Cherry Bomb is very simple. I don't enjoy using it very much. It's just a heavy 3x3 removal. It's broken as hell, but yeah. Like, I'm not saying Cherry isn't broken, but come on. Cherry cloned 5 times now, Bomb. Yeah, basically. There's like so much better versions of Cherry Bomb at this point to do other things. So yeah, default instant, it'll go an average. It doesn't do anything particularly awesome, so it's average. Let's go grab a Obsidian for once. Sling P, I guess, we're grabbing. Where do I put Sling P? Where do I put Sling P? Okay, so conceptually, Sling P is basically a super buffed up repeater. It fires 5 Ps across the board, but it'll actually prioritize certain lanes. So if it's only one zombie on the field, it'll shoot all its Ps at that. It'll do it by lane, so if it's like 3 lanes of zombies, it'll fire 2 Ps at one lane, 1 P at another, 2 at the other one. What do you guys think of this thing? I'm just gonna dump. What do you guys think of Sling P? I'm curious. I'm not sure how I feel on this thing. Above average, below average, average, below average. Okay, interesting. People don't really think this thing very good or anything. Very good. That's an interesting one. I'm even gonna put it above average. Maybe? No, because concept... It's It's very fun to use. It doesn't change up your gameplay too much inherently, but I do quite like this thing. I don't know. I think it's like a very alright thing. So you feel basing on power. Yeah, I know, but like inherently this thing is broken as hell, but whatever. I'll put Slimpy in above average. I think it's fine. I think pools is a good idea. I'm just kind of reading chat to get a general incentive, I think. So I'm gonna put this thing above average. I think Slimpy is interesting enough. Let's grab another one. It's a mint. Moving, I'll grab another one, just the hell of it. Soybean Pod. Oh no. I wonder what people think of Soybean Pod. Oh no. Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Yeah, I saw this one coming. The best conceptually and fun-wise. Oh, wait, I'm getting confused. Soybean, fun concept. Spawning zombies is always fun. I don't know, though. Here's my issue with Soybean. I don't think it's very fun to use. Let me explain that. Soybean in general has, like, a few very specific plants it works insanely well with. And, like, but that's about it. I'm not personally a big fan of this thing, playing-wise, but I can't deny the fact it's got a really fun concept. Like, I know that people really love this thing's concept, and I can't really justify putting it, like, in any of these three tiers. I can't put it in average, because it's definitely more interesting in, like, Bloomerang. It offers more than that. Would I put it about... I would say I put it about Iceberg. I'm not a huge fan of this thing. I can appreciate that it's very interesting, I just don't personally like it very much. If I liked it, then it'd definitely be, like, one of these two. That's kind of... I mean, I'm trying to make a compromise here. I think it's reasonable. I think people can understand that. We have, like, other plans I can complain for later, it's fine. I just don't like this thing personally, so I'm just gonna put it there. It's my tier list, so ha. As long as I don't put it below average, people are not gonna kill me, I think. Next up, Squash. Let's just go back to normal list. Squash is perfectly average. What do you say about Squash? So, Splippy, I don't like this one. Its main purpose is to counter one zombie. It can technically do more, but technically you can use Grade Buster to, I don't know, explode Tomb Raider. It's got a explosion. No. I don't like bloody Splippy. It's just the worst Peashooter most of the time. Peashooter's already, like, really meh. Its entire purpose is a counter prospector. That's it. I don't think there's exactly much competition with me putting it there. Okay. I prefer GT Splippy. I want Tomb Tangler judged. Okay, we'll get Tomb Tangler out of here early. Below average. I like Tomb Tangler in a lot of ways. I'm just gonna put it here. Tomb Tangler, I like a lot of Tomb Tangler does. I think it has some fun ideas to it. It's just the entire thing where it just can't be planned on graves. I know people hate this thing, it's much more than I do, but I say it's just below average. Okay, good to go now. See you 6 up. I prefer Tomb Tangler over Grave Buster mechanically, so yeah, I'll put it here. I will really put Carrot. Okay, Chili Bean. Chili Bean is interesting. Instantly kills single zombie, but it also stuns the rest of the zombies in a lane. Stun is a very interesting addition too. It's one of those humans which can work with, like, fire, which is pretty interesting. I'll put it above average. I like this thing. Its concept is fun. But it's fun to use. It's a lot like very much like rapid prioritization. It's trying to make sure the right zombie eats Chili Bean. You know, that kind of deal. I think it's fine. Okay. I like it. I'm gonna put above average. I think it's fine above average. Can you do Crocodile now? Sure, I'll do Crocodile. Crocodile... Here's the thing of Crocodile that I don't like. I don't like Crocodile's vanilla incarnation at all. I don't like it. Crocodile just isn't a very good plant in vanilla at all. Trying to make like Crocodile do anything is... It's very interesting. It's very interesting if you use like an insta. It's a very interesting insta as far as I go. But, possible Crocodile, but done right, to be honest. Yeah, I can see that. I think Crocodile shooting is fine, it just needs to do something a bit more. It's just vanilla. I can't shake off the fact that vanilla this thing is awful. So... I'll put Crocodile in... I'll put an average. I would put it like here, if it was like more rounded. But I do love myself a good Crocodile, good guacking in mods, but vanilla incarnation, because I'm trying to stick vanilla state, it shoots. Who cares? It doesn't do its job well. It's pretty much solely a spammable insta. Which is an interesting trait, but the game doesn't want to use it. Torchwood. I don't like Torchwood. Let me explain this in a very concise way that'll make sense. I hate buffing plants. I despise buffing plants so much. I don't think they ever work. And I don't think Torchwood even really is effective. But after or before buffs, both. I don't like its melee attack. It doesn't do anything. The thing I should have buffed with Torchwood is solely Torchwood. It's solely just like Torchwood. Its main weakness is it doesn't give splash anymore. I just don't like Torchwood. That's it. What's wrong with buffing plants? I think they just have a bad habit of making things go dumb. That's about it. I don't hate the idea of it too much. Its concept's fine, I just don't like buffing plants. What's happening? We don't have Soybean. I'm just grabbing plants half the time. Why is Enlightenment above Torchwood then? Enlightenment is above Torchwood basically. Actually, yes, yeah, that's a fair point, actually. I'm leaving this boring. I'll swap these two around. I think it's reasonable. This thing's going bottom of below average, though. I don't like Torchwood at all. Yeah, Enlightenment. I'll put Enlightenment new, actually. Buffing sun producers in particular is not fun. It just gives you way too much sun. It's a fundamentally broken concept. So, I'll put it down there. I think it's reasonable. Peapod. The best of the best for me. I love this thing. Peapod is a conceptually interesting plant. It's a plant that builds up power over time, and it does its job quite well. It's one of those plants where in most mods it's going to do something interesting. It's going to change how low you have to approach certain plants, so I really quite like this thing. It's more interesting in like a repeater or something, because you have to keep spamming it down. You can't just put down like one and it does the job fine. You get to keep like building it up, and I do enjoy it. It creates a very interesting style. So I think it's like really top tier. When you bring Peapod, you're bringing a Peapod strategy. I love that. I adore that. It's brilliant. So yeah, I love this thing. Jalapeno. Average. Does anybody care about Jalapeno in the slightest? Do I put Jalapeno in below average because just simply nobody cares about it? Like, Cherry Bomb at least is, like, allowed to be default. What does Jalapeno do? Like, seriously. I'll just keep Jalapeno. I'll just keep Jalapeno in here, I think. It is mechanically worse, but fundamentally it's basically the same issues. Melon Pult, it's a heavy attacker that attacks 3 times 3 area. Average. Wintermelon, below average. But this plant is very generic. It's just a simple attacker. It does splash damage, it does heavy damage. It's a good all-around mid-range attacker. Nothing really special to say. Wintermelon, Ads chill. The issue is that a lot of time you run Wintermelon, you just win because of it, and I don't find that particularly fun. Like, even in a balanced game, Wintermelon just isn't very fun. It's a solid heavy plant, it does its job fine as a heavy plant, but I just don't like it as far as they go. I prefer my heavy plants to have a bit more oomph to them, and I like them to do something interesting or varied. Wintermelon just kind of does its job. So, I'll put it down here. It doesn't do anything particularly interesting. It doesn't organized. It'll be sorting this thing out later. So, yeah. I'm not gonna rank Marigold because it doesn't exist. I don't like Imitator. Ring is unique to Ring, but it literally adds nothing to the game. Imitator is the one plant which just nobody uses because it just feels cheaty. It breaks the game in half the time. Bringing 2 cherry bombs is way too strong. No, I don't like this thing. This thing is boring to use. It's broken, but I don't like this thing. Imitator is literally every plant before its average. That's about it. I guess, technically, but no. I'm trying to just ignore the factor thing. I just don't like bringing this thing. In pretty much every case, bringing 2 different plants would be more interesting than 2 the same plants. So, I think it's fine putting here. I'll just put Marigold at the bottom. I'll grab one of these guys. Snappy! Snappy is a ranged chomper. So it can clear anything out in its lane, and like grab something, grab it, kill it instantly, or it'll stall something if it's stallable. When it finishes eating a zombie, it fires its head, but it doesn't do anything. So really, it's just like a permanent, just a ranged chomper. Below average, because I think it's the weakest of the ranged chompers. There's 2 other ranged chompers in this game, because there's bloody 3 of them, of course there is. And the other 2 I much prefer over this. I think the other 2 I prefer over this guy. I think. Or at least one of them I do, which we'll get to when we get to him. I'll bring another one out. I'll bring Puffball out so I can put another plant new. I don't like Puffball. Puffball... How's Puffball's range actually? I always forget this. What's Puffball's exact range? 3 times 5. Is there an image or somewhere of it firing? I can't remember how it actually hits. If I recall, it hits like every lane, doesn't it? Yeah, it hits every lane here. Can I zoom in on this? Okay. Beautiful. I don't like this range. It just doesn't work for me. Hitting the entire column is just too much. Its range is too much. It stuns and poisons enemies, so it'll just kill most things, and most things that won't die to poison are going to be, well, killed by anything else. With Puffball, what's interesting about it? Like, it's one of this thing is bust as hell, but good lord. I don't like this thing. When I plant as Puffball again, it's a Puffball. That is the name of the plant it is. So, I'll leave it here. I think it doesn't do anything. I don't think any mod ever has done anything particularly cool, so I'll leave it here. Okay, back to the tier list. I'll bring one more down because there's like a ton of these ones to get done. What does Solar Sage even do? Zach Scott saved me here. I need to look at Zach Scott games. Solar safe, brilliant. I don't want that. Mute. Leave. Ads are awesome, man. I love ads. Everybody loves ads. Okay, I don't think anything actually works entirely in gameplay, so yeah. There's so much ads. Why is subtitles even on? Whatever. I don't think Zach Scott even has subtitles on, mostly because his videos like every day. Actually, in Shiva. Maybe they do, and I just don't know. Okay. Yeah, we don't. God damn it. Immediately more ads. Come on. Okay. Jesus bloody Christ. I'm just trying to figure out what Solar Sage does. Okay, there we go. So it creates zombies that do that and produce sun as they go along, like once a tile, I believe, broadly. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Why is there so many ads today? Jesus. Holy god. Get out block. I really should. But whatever. Content creators need their content, so sure. Okay, so it creates like every zombie in a tile into a solar zombie, then moves right. Do these zombies do anything to other zombies? It doesn't seem it. Right. Oh no, it does. They can convert other zombies, apparently. Right? Okay, whatever. So it's an AoE, turn zombie into zombies that produce sunburn as they go right, which will also convert other zombies into Solar Sage zombies. Very situational, isn't it? That's kind of my visual first look at it. It's kind of like Sunbeam, kinda, but I'm not sure. What do you guys think of this guy? I'm really not sure. Conceptually, it's interesting. What's Sunbeam for me? Yeah, that's kind of... I like Sunbeam more. Sunbeam does a lot more things interesting. Average, below average, average. I was kind of thinking below average. I don't know. I just don't like this thing very much. It seems kind of icky. Use it the same. Use it kind of like a worse Sunbeam, I think, overall. I'll put below average. I don't like. I think this thing is kind of boring. Laser beam, below average. Concept generic. The main issue here is there's a big overflow of laser beam, and that's the main reason it's put down as low. Laser beam doesn't work with the way waves spawn. If you don't know, waves spawn essentially based on how much damage you do to zombies before they start showing up. Oh wait, I'll need to kill that. God damn it. I can't even do that right now. Pain. I have to do it like here then, I guess. Okay, a Vatilis has appeared. So it's laser beam. The way waves spawn, when they start spawning, they'll spawn like... They spawn based on how often you deal damage to the wave that just spawned. Laser beam does that really well. So the next wave just spawns like instantly when you use laser beam, and that just isn't great. So I'll put it there. Blover. I don't like this one. Technically, you can do some interesting things with Blover, but come on, it's Blover. Its entire purpose is nullifying zombies entirely. I'll put it here. Actually, I hate this thing more than I thought. I'll put Ian Peach here instead. Ian Peach is countering 5 zombie types. There's not much interesting skill to use it, you just use it or you don't. There's no, like, back and forth here. Citron, very good, if I'm biased. I love the idea of slower attackers that build up massive power over time. Citron is like the quintessential version of that. To me, at least, it also has some interesting strategy. You have to build around it. Again, key aspect of plant. You can't just put into a strategy and it works fine, which most above average plants do. Most of these plants can't be put into a strategy directly, they have to be built around. And that's kind of why they're so high up. And these plants down here just have to be, basically have to be forced into a strategy of being good alone. Yeah, I think it makes sense. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of like a running theme here. Starfruit. I'll put Roto here as well. I like these two. I like these two a lot. Okay, I'm trying to read through this thing now. I'm never going to impeach you. Okay. So people want to put Starfruit higher up, really? That's weird. No, whatever. I'm going to go above average because... you know, I'll put Starfruit above average, I think. I think I prefer Starfruit over Roto anyways. Here's my thought process here. Starfruit has some interesting mechanics. It has an interesting angle. You generally do have to worry about it. It does things interestingly. It has a unique concept of its fire rage is interesting as hell. Rotofly, I don't know, but I don't care about Rotoflying. And Roto, I think Roto is worse. Not much worse, but enough to separate tiers. Again, these plants are both really fun. Roto, I just don't like its mechanics. Imagine just clicking random thumbnails without looking at the title and you see this here. Yeah, I was thinking about this. Starfruit has a weird blind spot directly in the range of shots, which can be annoying. Yeah, I know about that. I agree that it is painful, but whatever. Roto, I just don't like Roto's angles as much. I think Starfruit has a more interesting set of angles. Is there lag, or are you just all you're crapping on me? Whatever. Well, whatever. It was lagging and bugging apparently, okay. I'm not seeing any lag. Well, whatever. Okay, cool. Well, whatever. Plus, it's cool Wi-Fi. I have no clue what's going on there then. The stream health seems to be totally fine. Seems like nothing happened. Whatever. As I was saying, Roto, just don't like its angles as much. I'll leave it here. I prefer Starfruit a lot. So, yeah. I'll do another... I need to do some more of these plans because there's so many of them. Gloomvine. I don't like the Gloomvine at all. I don't think anybody really likes Gloomvine. It's just a ground fat bead which buffs a few plants. But there's very few plants you'd actually want to power up in the front line anyways. And the one that you would want to power up is a wall. So... I don't know. It's a fat bead as a vine. Whatever. I don't like this thing. Exceptionally boring, mechanically icky as hell. So, yeah. That's it. Moving on. But I like Gloomvine a lot more in GT. Yeah, I think a lot of these plants are much better in mods. This is sort of like a vanilla look at these things, so yeah. Bot time. Nope. Let's do a Shell Plant Lightning round. I would, but I kind of want to go through these plants and some of those plants in detail. Okay. Next up, I should probably do... I'll do some more premiums for a bit. Electricity. No. I actually put electricity down here. Electricity does, like, no damage of 3x3 AoE at all. Its main ability is being eaten, which... No. It costs too much of that. It's not very fun. Its chain effect is random. You can't really plan for it. Ew dear, I don't like this thing. I guess fun values may be technically there, but I don't like this thing. What should we do next? Iceweed! Below average. I haven't really seen a compelling argument to use Iceweed yet, at all. Its concept is boring. It's way too late for what concept it is. That's kind of what I'm keeping in mind here. Mechanically, what do you use with Iceweed? Like, if it was Reflourished, then you have vanilla at least, but we don't, so... Whatever. Infinite. Best of best. Great concept. Really fun tactically. And just for generally fun to use. I see no counter-argument there. People really want me to put use Iceweed for noise on his lead. That's true. Iceweed's noise is huge. Infinite at the top. It's fun to use. Yada yada yada. Fine, I'll put Levitate somewhere then. Sue me. I like this thing. It's a fun little Stola. It has like a really interesting range. The idea of a Stola where you put it anywhere in the field just to add global stalling, but it's more interesting than that. It has a lot of unique traits. You have to build around it. You can't just put in any strategy. I like Levitator. It has a 1% chance to kill zombies instantly for some reason, but I like Levitator. I think it's interesting. I think it's cool. I'd love to see Levitator in a mod sometime. I think it'd be an absolute blast. If it was just fun to use, you just hit the fish zombies, to be honest. If I hit the fish zombie, I'd just use Ghost Pepper, which I also love, so whatever. Okay, I think Levitator's fair. I think people, because I'm not covering power here, I know Levitator is crappy. You can't do zombie while floating though, so what? It's fine. Knocking zombies back while not letting them be hit is a unique idea. I like this thing. Levitator's cooler than Mega Gatling. Yeah, true. Everybody hates Mega Gatling. Is letting Levitator controversial? Maybe. I like this thing a lot, so I'll put it up here. Let's go back through some of these plans. Best of best. Tal Turnip. Fun conceptually, it's using an ability of the world to your advantage properly forever. That's cool, that's fun. In terms of tactical usage, yes. Flam food strategies are always fun to use, and Tal Turnip is such a core part of that. Like, Iceberg in the back, Ice in the front. Tal Turnip connection, boom, the entire field is now way more defended every time you press that button. Like, come on, it's cool. Really fun concept. I love this thing. It's one of my favorite plants. Magni. Very good. Magni has a very unique concept. It's got a very unique concept as far as things go. I love this thing. In terms of concept. The issue with, and then like in terms of like strategy, yeah, you can build strategy around Magni. That's usually a sign of a top tier plant. It's just the fun value. I don't enjoy Magni strats very much. However, Magni is insanely good and has some very unique strategies to it. I just don't like using it. That's it. So I'll put it in very good. Like, Null Plants in very good I love, but I think Magni is the one I like the least, but it's fine. So, yeah, I'll leave it here. Tip Mushroom. Above average solely for, like, the cool factor of it. This thing mechanically is icky at best. It's kind of less, it's kind of just a worse version of Chili Bean in most cases, but it is a cool, it's like a really charming concept of just turning zombies to your side. That's a fun idea. It's just being hard carried by its concept here. I don't think it's a particularly fantastic plant, I just think it's fun, and it has a fun concept. That's about it. Sunshroom. I'm not sure about Sunshroom. A weaker early game they can do easier, while a plant that grows over time to become better. More cost-efficient Sunflower. I don't think there's a way you can make Sunshroom weak is my problem with it, but I do think it's a very important plant. I'll put it the same tier as Twinsun. I think it's reasonable. I can't put it. I just don't. The issue is that it's basically the only reason Dark Ages is playable, so I can't really say it's unimportant, and it is useful side of it, but it's also impossible to balance entirely, because it has to be good in Dark Ages. So, at least to my knowledge, I've never seen anybody be able to properly balance this thing. Nah. Puffshroom is perfectly average. I don't care for Puffshroom. Fume, above average. Concept is generic, but when using at a tactical level, it's interesting enough. It has some fun quirks to it, and it generally is just enjoyable to use. It defines a strategy in a very neat way. How about this thing about here? I think this is about right for Puffshroom, Fume and Puffshroom. Puffshroom's just average, that's it. I just don't care for this thing. It's kind of just whatever. Okay. Sunbean. I want to put Sunbean up here, but I'm not sure if I can justify it. I'll put Sunbean here for now. Sunbean, very unique plant. Like, one of the most unique sun producers in the entire game. Just across both any PVZ game, it's one of the most unique sun producers. The issue with Sunbean is that it's just kind of so reliant on waves. is only good if you in a level where like the first way is Buckethead. Perfect. If not, then it's just kind of worthless half the time. It doesn't help me well that vanilla pacing doesn't really help it out at all, but I'm trying to ignore those stats and that's a problem. I think very good is the right place for it. I like this thing. It's neat. It's all good infantry to me. Yeah, I think it's a good way to say it. I prefer Peapod over it as well. I think Peapod does more. Peanuts. It's a walnut that loses half its. It's a walnut that becomes. It's a walnut that doesn't want to be hit. It's a Peashooter that doesn't want to be in the back. Why would you ever use peanuts? What idea did they come up with for peanuts? Peanut, more like penalized, actually trying to play the damn game. Perfect. Nailed it. Magnet. Conceptually interesting. Tactically, no. Bucketheads aren't plentiful enough ever for it to be good. So, below average it goes. Its fun value, it just kind of goes. Yeah, I think it's reasonable. Sorry. Mine should be higher. Really? My design's so cool. My digital design is solid, but it's just kind of whatever. I don't know, I don't like this thing. I don't see this thing as doing very much. If it was PC1 magnet, then I put in, like, average. Apparently that was a Jess account now. Wait, really? Okay, well, I just ignore the dev diary stuff. Jumper, above average. Actually, no. Other plants we're doing is like the most recent version. You still use the thing the same way. Chomper in the most recent versions can eat several zombies at once. So it'll eat 2 zombies before having to recharge. I like this thing. I like it. I think it has some interesting synergy. It's a plant you have to build around. It has some interesting synergy as a replacement to Bong Choi for an early game, which I particularly like using it for. These can both go in. That go in. Ooh, this will go in. I don't like you. I don't like plants whose entire purpose is to make a world playable. Laypad is not tactically interesting. Tanglekill is just a waterborne potato mine that doesn't have to charge. If I could use a side, it'd be like here, because it's just not fun. It's just too generic. I'll go put Ghost Pepper somewhere here. Ghost Pepper is fun. Ghost Pepper is like a very unique insta, as far as I'm concerned. That's about it. I like the design. I do too, but yeah. Ghost Pepper, fun. I love this thing. It has a lot of unique traits. It wrecks everything. It wrecks everything really nicely. And even when you fall, could like damage over time, it could explode. Good. I like this thing. It's cool. There's some really fun stuff you can do with Ghost Pepper, and I really do quite like it. Okay, next up. Let's just get some mint out of the way. I'll put you in here. You just explode the entire field and buff plants that can't be buffed properly. Being appeasement stuns. Payment, no. What do you even do? I think he just makes zombies slow down for a bit. I think it's also for generic mint. Meh. Armament. Concealment. You do something interesting with shadow plants. Because they're a shadow plant. Why would you put freezing plants? I guess better than a plant that can't be buffed. Screen clear. Has some interesting synergy. Its plant food effect is more interesting than most of the plants shown. I just don't like plant buffers, so it's low. You shrink zombies for some reason. You buff melee though, so you're fair. Enchantment, what do you even buff? Ailment, sure. No, I don't just poison zombies with poison plants in the field. No, that's bad. Okay. That's all the mints done. Any objections to any of the mints? I don't think there's any objections, but, you know, I'll have to double check with the chat. Pepper's good both Ghost Pepper, true. I just don't like it as a sports player. Get some Toad ranking. I'll do Toad next. I like Toad, because that Toad will be fun. Mints are too high. I could have a tier for Mints, but I think it goes. Spear's and stuff, yeah. I think it works. Everybody agrees? Anybody's going to complain about any of these things in particular? More mint for strength zombies. The melee mint for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. Yep, cool. Everybody agrees with mints. Okay, cool. Next up. Toadstool. I freaking love Toadstool, man. Conceptually, it's interesting, but interesting also saying relatively simple. It kills zombies instantly at a range. It eats and it produces sun when it does so. Both these traits completely redefine how you use this plant in a really interesting way. Unlike it has different weaknesses, it plays very differently from Choma does. It's more unique than Snappy is to me because it has a secondary ability that's more interesting. It still has limited range, so you can actually kind of use it well with like slowers and walls. I love Toadstool, it's fun. It creates a lot of fun synergies, and it generally is fun to use. Toadstool plus Spikeweed is my favorite strategy in the game, so I'll put it up here. It's a weird one to put so high, but yeah. I'll do Positive later. Positive is a big one. I'll do that one later. Bowling Bulb. I love Bowling Bulb, man. Bowling Bulb's nice. Bowling Bulb's kind of one of my... I love this thing. Just kind of my I want to have fun. Let's just run a Bowling Bulb strategy. I won't put best of best because people just can't use it, and I think it's a very clear flaw of this thing. But it's one of the few straight shooters which just totally redefine how you play the game. Without like being like, oh, you have to like play it several times, or you have to put it at the front. Bowling Bulb just requires a lot of instant support, but is really fun once you get going. In most mods, I love Bowling Bulb. I love how its shots recharge, I just love everything about it. The only reason it's not higher is because, yeah, I just switched to manual. I would hate this thing as manual, it'd be boring. Next up, I'll do homing. Banana. Here. I kinda can't put it any lower, I think. Banana's not my favorite plant in the game, but it's fun. It's very fun. Conceptually, manual plant where you can target everyone in the field is good. In terms of tactical, yeah. Banana is one of those plants where it's fun to control and just feels impactful when you do so. Something like Magni is so minor when you control it. Banana is just like, target locked, boom, gone, great, fun. I love this thing. A lot of people misunderstand how 193 Banana works, but this thing is fun. Powerful, fun. I put this thing high up. Everybody loves Banana. Save 2 with this code. Yes, I will do so when I'm finished with it, yeah. Next up, Sweet Potato. I'm pretty sure what Sweet Potato tries to do. It's an interesting plant. Interesting plant with some interesting synergies with like Spike Rock and Current. I quite like this thing. I think it's definitely a pretty fun plant. My main qualm with it is just kind of weak, but I'm trying to ignore stats. That thing does fine. I like it. Sapling, average. It's a plant that slows down everything in a tile, which I'll put it above average, just because of strategy you can create. In terms of strategic options, it's interesting. Interesting enough because it makes like plants like celery much better. That's the main reason I'm putting it high up, by the way. Higher than average. Celery is really good with this thing, and I like the way it works. Puff as well. Really interesting for an early game option with like normal early game plants. Well, I think it's interesting enough to put it above average. It's also busted in most things it's in, but whatever. Hurricane, above average too. I like these two. Hurricane's a really fun installer. It's rapid fire. It does like in lane-based stuff, which is always interesting. I think it's a more interesting range, because in fact there's no like a free entry installer, which does the same thing. I like Hurricane. It does some things, which is alright, but I like the thing more. Okay, let's blow it done right. You actually agree. I think it's the best way to put it. Stream's lagging, is it? Okay. Doesn't deal damage. I don't care about it doing damage. It's fine. Okay, there you go. Let's just do the rest of redirection now. Hot date. I went above average too. I quite like this thing. It's alright. Garlic. I'm gonna explain this all later at the end. Actually, it's probably just easier to do that. I'll ignore recurrent. Which of the plants can redirect? I actually don't know. I don't think there's anything else. Don't think there is, no. Okay, right. Oh no, you can technically redirect. I think this thing's interesting enough. I'll put him here. Okay. Let's go in order of these plants. Garlic, I think, is really nice as a plant. It's a very unique way of redirection. It doesn't work on every zombie, but it's also the most spammable and easiest to use staller. As well as just offering the most, like, general usage. You don't need a strategy specifically built around garlic to make garlic do something. Which with the others you do need to, really. Potato, I like the instant nature of it. I think its damage is way too high, but if you reduce its damage and increase the amount of things it can teleport, yeah, that thing is really cool. Teleport like a bunch of zombies around itself to a single spot. It's like one of the few stalls which is like, reduction is kind of like number based. That's interesting. I like that. Conceptually interesting. So, I think it works to get above here. Sweet potato, I still think it's above average. Redirection is fun. It's just way too limited. Hot date is just a different version of sweet potato. It's less group-based, but it's also just less redirecting and more insta-re, which is fine. With reduced damage, it can be interesting. I'm just not particularly massive on this thing. Any objections? Do people like this thing, or is it just are people annoyed with like Potato being so high? What kind of tier list is this? This is a tier list based on like everything it is in power. So like the concept of the plant, how fun it is to use, just kind of the overall nature of it. Okay. Colonel's redirects. I know, but I'm ignoring current for now. Is it? You know what? I'll put Potato down here. Its damage is too high, I think, and I can't really justify not making its damage high because it's a potato mine. I think it's fine to put it here. I think it's more reasonable. Just because of the freedom to range, I think. Yeah, I think it's fine. Ew, potato mine, this thing, potato, awful. Purple, average. It doesn't do anything particularly interesting. Its mechanic of heating is not great, but whatever. Heating is fine, I'll live with it. I think it's fine there. Chard is weird. How do you rank Chard Guard in this regard? Conceptually, it's a very unique wall. It's a very interesting wall. One of the plants of knockback, which is always interesting. Mechanically, he's always fun. Like, he's always fun, good fun to use. He can install most things in a way that is unique. I like Chard Guard, actually. I'm gonna put him very good. I like Chard Guard a lot. It's a very interesting plant. It does a lot of things that are really cool, and I think it's really cool for that reason. Don't describe why, but it's a very pretty unique and fun concept. Yeah, I think it's kind of the best way to put it. Okay, I'll do Primal Plants now because I guess it's just time. Primal Walnut. I don't like Primal Walnut very much. Its main job is to being better against Gargs and being spammable. It generally ends up having to be exclusively Gargs whenever it's tested rebalanced, because it becomes way too powerful a spammable wall. So I'm sort of just having like really bad stats for it. I know it's not my vanilla mostly here, but sorry. Now it's getting very dry because I'm yelling a lot, I think. Perfume. I don't like perfume very much. It's neat that it has a ton of unique like counterplay of dinos, like each dino does its own thing when it's charmed, which is cute. I quite like that. I just think Jurassic Marsh really didn't need a plant that negates its gimmick entirely. I think that's not helpful for the game at all. Big reason why Jurassic Marsh kind of doesn't work for me, I think. I think it's reasonable, people. Some music? Nah, I like this thing. Music's the thing for now. I have a bit of a tier list template. I actually have a second tier list template in the back, so yeah. But I don't think I can actually use that, I don't think. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Next up... doing primal plants right now. Knockback is interesting. It's a unique support class plant. RNG kind of sucks with it, but I think it's still average. I think it's above average overall. Primal Sunflower. I don't like Primal Sunflower very much. I think it's less interesting than the other sun producers because it doesn't do anything particularly unique. It's just a heavier sunflower. Slightly heavier sunflower, which is just better most of the time. Because of the way Southern Meadow works. Not a big fan of that thing. Primal Tatamine. Average, I think. Is it below average? Can I justify it being below average, Joe? It's more interesting. It's the concept of evolved from Primal Tatamine in a unique way, and it does do something very new. The issue is, though, I just don't like the way its power is. I think it's way too powerful. A difficult question. I'll put it above average. In my heart, though, this thing is worse than Tatamine. Tatamine is just nice and simple. This thing is not my favorite. I don't know why I don't like this thing. It might just be because it's too powerful. And that's about it for Primal Plants. Nice. I still got a ton of bloody premium to do for CDMs, whatever. Right. I'm just gonna... I think Chad needs to catch up for a bit, I think. So I'll just hang out for a bit. Okay. People are really annoyed at me for putting Primal Sunflower so low. I just don't like it mechanically. That's it. I think normal Sunflower looks nicer anyways. Witch Hat OP. Let's get some of these premium plants gone through. Less interesting melee plant than the others. It doesn't iterate in a unique way. It kind of removes like a lot of the additional support you can give to one, so no, don't like you. Coal Snapdragon's range is interesting enough, and I think when nerfed it is a very unique plant. I'll put it up here. It's a unique plant it's a unique support plant that can actually do a bit more than just support. Like, I'm really thinking about Ecclese Coal Snapdragon here, mostly. That thing's really interesting, I quite like it. I think it's a very fun plant to use. It's weird putting it above Coal Snapdragon for uniqueness, but it's a unique support plant, that's really what I'm putting it there for. Oh. Next up is something. What did I bring up here? Hocus. Different from Peashooter. I think it's different in a lot of ways, but I don't think it's different enough to make it anywhere above or below. Grape Shot. I don't like Grape Shot, it's just Cherry Bomb again. But I don't like the fact that projectiles bounce the way we do. Pomegranate. I think it's just an interesting Cherry Bomb. I like the way its seeds work. That's about it. Missile Alto. It's too similar to, it's way too similar to Banana to put it too high, I think. Just way too similar. Even my plant's on average, I think. I just kind of don't like putting every plant that's on average, I think. Let's just fill it up a bit with plants I don't particularly care for. Pivine's alright. I have no interest in Pivine, but it's alright. Where's Blastberry can be put there as well, I think. Yeah, let's put Blastberry there too. Yep. I think it's Explodivine. I don't like Explodivine, it's just Exploded again. and it's dumber. It explodes twice for some reason. Why does it explode twice? Turkey bolt below average. Soybean is already here. It's just the worst soybean. It's technically unique enough so it's not in the same spot, but come on. I'll put Draftadil below average. I don't care for Draftadil in the slightest. It's a staller that... Actually, no, I'll put it below here. It's a staller that slows down the things it's trying to hit so you can kill them instantly. Like, come on! Like, it's a stall that doesn't want to stall. What kind of garbage is that? Sunion, average. Plant food effect is less interesting than icebergs, despite being mostly the same. Fire P. It's repeated but it's on fire. Damn. Okay, I think it's a lot of the easy ones, I think. I think it's a fairly easy to rank. Maybe a cringe tier. Most of the bottom tiers are cringe tiers. Why so many plants does this plant but ice? Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna read back for read for chat quickly, sorry. Okay. Anything here people particularly don't like? Why should a fire P be higher than repeater? It's just repeater again. Why do I care? Place blueberry. Okay. RNG makes it kind of annoying to use. Instant killing things is an interesting trait. It's just kind of another range chomper in Meteor cards, I think. That's kind of the issue. There's like 5,000 range chompers in this game. Fishing can kind of kill Gogs though, which is neat, I guess. I appreciate what it can add, I just don't think by base is very interesting. It needs a lot of work to make it a unique plant. I think it's fine, average. I think. Lava Guava... Below average, I think, for this guy. I don't like Lava Guava very much. It's just kind of... It's powerful, obviously, but... It's kind of the same spot as like plants like Ghost and Crocodile. So... It just kind of does the same thing as many other plants. It's totally reasonable. In most mods, though, it tends to be fairly and fun. Replication should work. Well, I'm not going to do that, because again, I have a separate tier. I have a tier list as a separate thing for later, so yeah. I have something set up for that, don't worry. Blue Tombstone, Silver Tombstone, yeah. Poinsettia. Oh boy, Poinsettia. I'll put Poinsettia on a thing. I don't like Poinsettia very much. Conceptually, it kills every GI in the screen when it's placed. Come on. It knocks everything back, which just makes it a board knockback. You just stamp it down constantly. It technically lasts beyond that point, but why? I don't like this thing. I can't really... Draftadil's up here. I'll put it with Draftadil. I can't put an EU, I think, reliably. I think it's more of a I don't like this one plant than a hate. I am sick of escape route micro levels. Escape route micro is like the worst micro of any plant. I don't like it. I'm sick of playing it. I just do not like... I'm just sick of escape route micro levels. Let's go Garlic 80. Okay, let's see here. S19 intensifies, yeah, basically. New S17... No. New S19 is also a Screen Micro, isn't it? Whatever. S17. Screen Micro is cool to watch, not to play. Yeah. I think I'm just sick of this thing's usage and level mods too much, I think. Without it, it's just below average. I don't use it much, but it's a unique concept. I just don't think it's particularly fun. But it's just because of using mods. Let's go do some interesting ones, I think, now. Down here. Keyseeker. Sure. It's a very normal insta as far as they go. The main issue is just way too powerful, but If you can tone it down a bit, and it's just kind of whatever. I think it has some unique traits, but you have to change a lot of how it works, and it's fundamentally just kind of... The entire screen is dead now, have fun. Not very precise. I like precision in my answers, that's the kind of one I prefer. Ultimato! Has a few unique traits. I just think it's kind of ugly looking. That's just the one plant I'll put down here because it's ugly looking. That's about it. I'd have nothing really more to say. Ugly looking, I think it's weird to use. It feels kind of clunky. If it had like one stage, I think I'd prefer it more, but I'm not sure. I just don't particularly think this thing is fantastic. Celery, I love this thing. Celery has some unique synergies with another game plant. It lasts for a long time, fun to use, very unique. Unique weaknesses, unique strengths. Yeah, I'm happy with that tiering. I'm happy with that. I think it's perfectly placed for it. Tomato? It's tomato. Tomato's correct, whatever. It doesn't matter, it's how you say it. Red Stinger? It's better than Repeater. It's a Repeater with a unique weakness and can, in theory, be used as a wall. It needs a lot of tweaks to get that point, because it's like on the verge of being below average. But I do prefer it over Repeater. It does something more unique. I think it's about reasonable for it. Eki. It's just Bloomerang, but again. If Bloomerang is average, this has to be below average by default, so that's kind of how it just works. Aki doesn't do anything too interesting that's too notable. You can make his damage drop more interesting, but... I don't know. It's kind of whatever. A Dart Choke. I want to put him here. This is like one of my favorite plants in mods. But I can't put him here. Because I screwed him up in vanilla. So I have to put him in above average. Dart Choke, for some reason, can only target his own lane. He prioritizes zombies, and that's a very fun trait. But... come on. He can only target his own lane. I imagine they were maybe gonna make his, like, shadow form, because he looks like a shadow plant, like... Look at these two. Look at the bottom. They're clearly meant to be similar, but whatever. Imagine they were gonna go to a shadow form to make it hit all lanes, but... come on. As is right now, it's just kind of whatever. Crits are annoying too. I don't like the crits. It's only versatility because I've enjoyed my time using in mods. That's it. Apple Mortar. Above average. About the same as Repeater. It's very similar, but I think the stun effect is unique. And I think it has a unique kind of playstyle when you start spamming it everywhere. I think it's very much slept on, but I do enjoy using it enough. It's a unique kind of stall plant. Like, it's a stall that it's not dedicated to stalling the same way other plants are. Right. Okay. Moving on. I'll do cactus. It's a Bloomerang Spikeweed. Why? You don't want this thing to crouch because it loses all its damage. So you just want to keep it at the back. Its Plavid effect is unique, but that's all it has, and it's not particularly great. Like... I don't like this thing very much. Its concept is meh. Tactically, I don't actually know how you use this thing. It's way too messy for me. I've never gone cactus. I'll leave him here. I think this is about right for him. Ice Bloom! Above average. Ice Bloom chills the entire screen, and like in turn zombies to ice blocks and they're throwing every area around itself, essentially. I think it's unique. Got a unique trait. I like plants that have instances that do more than just, you know, zombies are gone now. It kind of does more. It's a staller that does a lot of interesting stuff towards it, so I quite like it. I think it's a better item, I'll be honest, in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases, when... I don't know. Aloe... Concept, healing a plant sounds cool, but it doesn't work as a way plants take damage in this game. It's only useful in walls, so... That aside, Aloe Chard is broken. Aloe Holly is less broken, but still way too good. Way too good, I just don't like that kind of thing. And I'm trying to ignore vanilla stats, but I have to kind of consider those here. Its concept's interesting, its design is nice, but I can't put it anywhere below. I can't say it's average. Halloween is would work well. Okay, I'm thinking about it now. Macadamia. I'll do macadamia. I'll put it very good, I think. Actually, I'll put it above average. Above average feels better for it. It's an average plant in many regards. I don't have much to say about it. I like it. It's a variant of like Infinite and such, in a regard, because it regenerates HP when it's powered. It encourages you placing moonflowers at the front, which I quite appreciate with it. I think it's above average fine for it. It is just an infinite durian, but it does more than that, and it does like a way, it has like ways of being that which is more unique to me. And the shadow aspect of it is really unique for me, and I like how it is a shadow plant. Does mine not make sense? I think this thing is good. Make the kind of news on me. Yeah, it's true. P-Vine. I don't like Torchwood. I don't like P-Vine. P-Vine is the worst Torchwood to me. It has, like, no redeeming qualities. It's way too powerful. Mechanically, it just buffs plants you're already using. And until we get to certain plants, it's not even that good. It makes Repeater better, I guess, but I just don't like buff plants. I don't like any of them. I think P-Vine is really not good for that reason. Plus, it being able to buff Torchwood is kind of... why? It's really not about power. It isn't about big power, I'm just kind of pointing out that in most cases this thing will be overpowered, because it's going to have to be cheaper than things buffing. And that's not going to go well. It looks just kind of boring and looks visually dumb. I don't like this thing. Wasabi Whip. About the same as Bong Choy. Usually it works as a heavier Bong Choy. I don't care if it is or not. It's just another Bong Choy clone. I'm fine with this thing though because it got an extra range to it, so it's a bit more unique, and Predator's only behind it and attacks like quicker behind it, which is unique. There's not much to say else for Wasabi. It's very overlooked. It's alright though. I like it. Parsnip! Where did I put Crocodile? I forgot where I put Crocodile. I put average. Parsnip's gonna be above average. It's kind of what Crocodile wants to be, but realized. With Crocodile, there's no... it's a plant that wants to be placed at the back and the front simultaneously, so it can shoot, but also launch. Parsnip is a plant that only wants to be placed in the front, and I think it definitely helps it out a lot. Its rush is more unique and more useful now, and I think it definitely works better for that than just for Crocodile itself. I think that works fine for it. Why are so many plants also punctuate better? Yeah, that kind of is a thing. I feel like you're avoiding Boom Bloom on purpose. Yeah, I am. We're thinking of VT. The issue with electricity is that it just doesn't work in the same way, it doesn't pull it off. I don't like electricity very much. The difference here between these three, Crocodile has a rush that's meaningful, but weak. Meaningful, but its normal effect doesn't work for it very well. Floor can be used to just sort of rush part alone, which is why it's an average. Parsnip can use both sides of its ability effectively, and I do think it does quite nicely in that regard. Electricity is really weak. Its first form is weak as hell. Its second form isn't interesting to me. Like, where it's like a short range, it's just random and unusable to me. That's kind of how I look at these three. I think reasonable. I realize most of the plants you put in the A and S here are most underrated in the community. Yeah, basically. I think other plants are fun, and I think most other plants just aren't fundamentally interesting. A gold leaf, below average. It's 3% production with no interesting traits beyond that. And it's Tulio classed by Shinevine. I love Shinevine. Shinevine is really cool. It's a fixed gold leaf. That's how I see this thing. What makes gold leaf unfun or uninteresting is just the fact that it kind of just doesn't work well. It's a free sunflower. That's not great. Shinevine, on the other hand, is really freaking cool. Like, it's Shinevine. It does a lot of cool things. It's the same kind of concept, but instead of like just producing sun itself, it actually buffs the sun rays behind on top of it, which basically gets rid of the big thing that makes gold leaf annoying to work with. This thing's great. Its stun is annoying, but that's it. That's my only real flaw of this thing. I think this thing's a very underrated plant, conceptually at least. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to everybody. A bramble bush. It just helps something you're using. Yeah, exactly. The issue with gold leaf is that it becomes like a free sunflower, and a lot of games you kind of just end up without just needing only gold leaf, which I don't really like. Shinevine works a lot nicer for me in that regard. Plus, it typically works well with Twin Sun, which I kind of appreciate. Twin Sun is kind of interesting enough. I just like this thing. That's it. That's my concept. I don't like building plants normally, but I think this works in a better way. Okay, next one. Bramblebush. I'll do Bramblebush. I want to put this guy up here. I really want to put this guy up here. But there's one thing it does that I really don't like. And I can't put it on top of here because of that reason alone. I'll be above average for it. It removes armor. I don't like that. What makes Bramblebush unique to me is a heavy stalling plant that captures one zombie rather. It's a very unique stalling plant. One of the most unique wall plants even. But it removes armor for no reason. And so its unique trait is only really usable in Gogs. And like it removes like if I recall, it removes armor for zombies around it as well, which it was like this close. It was this close. Huh. Why did I muck it up last second? That's my thought process here. Whatever. Moving on. Dandelion, I'll do. Okay. It doesn't do anything particularly unique. Its interaction with Blover and Hurricane is neat, but kind of unnecessary. I've never seen a case where it's particularly helpful. It just kind of seems to make your defense worse for a while most of the time. Average works for it. I don't think it's an S. I don't think it's below average. I just think it's kind of just there. I think it makes sense. Visually it's nice. I just kind of don't go. Visually don't care. I'm going to get small plants done here. Holy Barrier. I like this thing. Very unique attacker. Very unique gimmick. Its shot's too strong, but that's fine. That can be toned down, seemingly, stats-wise, whatever. Unique plant with a very unique trait of how its shots work. It only has 3, but it looks like kind of like a semi-instant plant. It has like a very unique interaction with Carrot of all things, which I really appreciate for Carrot's sake. But I also think it just makes this plant much better in its own right. Kiwi Beast. Friggin', I love this thing. This thing nailed like a lot of aspects that just click in my head for a plant. It's a very unique plant in so many ways. Like, it's one of the only plants where you want them to be near it, so it can get bigger and bigger. It works with, it's one of those plants that work really well with aloe, because aloe can't, because it only takes damage to go up. So you can actually just have like a max HP, max Kiwi Beast. It requires a lot of skill to get Kiwi Beast to work, but it's fun. I think this thing is one of the best plants. I love this thing. Here's that beat, but good. I'll put that being above average. It's alright. It's fun. A good Fabi strategy is always interesting. It's about the same as like Bong Choy for me, I think overall. Bong Choy Snapdragon, which I kind of see very similar for the most part. These terms like fun value. Cauliflower. RNG can hypnotize Gargantua for some reason. Why can't it do that? I don't like the thing too much. That's just kind of why it's here. Endurian, average. I appreciate what it brings, I just don't think it's particularly worthwhile. It's kind of just there. It has its good moments, and I think in most mods it's because higher. I think it's because considering vanilla here, that'll be here. No, I can't justify it. I have a DP, I think. I think it's fine for it. It's a fair enough wall. It does some stuff that's interesting. Can work quite nicely. It's just a very good plan overall. Stall is average. Conceptually, it's another stalling insta. I like it a lot, but I like Stall a lot. It's fun to use. That's one of my favorite plans to use. But it's conceptually kind of boring. Tactically, you know, like, come on. I think it's average. I think it's very underrated, but I think it's underrated. I think a lot of people don't see what thing can do. In the right strategy, I think it can be really fun and really just dynamic, but not normally. Inferno. It's way too loud. That's about it. Compared to Hocus Pocus and Primal Peashooter, it's... I don't know how this thing works properly, and I'm not totally sure. I don't know how do you really use this thing. I haven't used this thing much, so I'll just keep an average for now. It's not an average plan to slightest, but, you know, it's fine. You're offending the modders. I think modders only like them because of visuals anyways. Strawburst, I'll do now. I think Strawburst is above average. There's a ton of plants above average. There's more plants in above average than there is in plants in average. I'll look at that guy on average and just to make things a bit full fair. I'll actually bring some of these plants down. I don't know which ones I really want to bring down. I'll bring Slinkby down. Slinkby is less interesting and creepier to me. I'm gonna bring Soybean as well. I just don't personally like Soybean very much. He's up here solely because he's quirky and fun. I think Iceberg has to be brought down. I don't think Iceberg plant food is enough to make it go higher up, and I think I'm more comfortable with this and Stoli in the same tier, I think. I don't think Stoli is below average. I think this is better. There you go. I ruined everybody's dreams. Cauliflower. Did I already put cauliflower somewhere? Yeah, I did. I don't like cauliflower. I just don't. It's not great. I think Starburst is average, though. Starburst is way too forgettable, and that's kind of a problem. Fine Warp. If Fine Warp worked to be above average, but it doesn't, so it's just average. Fine Warp right now is very broken. It's meant to heal armor, but it currently doesn't, so it's like unique trade is only usable for Gargs, which kind of make it too good all the time. A board reset is way too powerful just by default. I don't enjoy this thing too much. Nope. Oh, man, this thing's anticipated again. Arm hasn't been healed since like 6.7. Yeah, it's been broken for a while. I think here's a great space for it. It's fine. The issue is it's just way too powerful by default, so I can't really just like putting it above average. Like, I prefer a lot of these plants over this guy. Spore goes down here. Spore, conceptually, is interesting, but I think the concept doesn't really work. Because it spreads on top of zombies, so it's entirely useless most of the time. Tactically, you only really use Spore when an objective encourages the usage of it. So like, Spend X Sun or Last Sand, really. Like, something like that is when you use Spore Shroom. But that's really it. You don't use really much outside of that. And most of the times when you use Spore Shroom, the strategy is just kind of pray to God Spore Shroom does something. It's very unreliable in normal play. I don't know, I don't like this thing. It's only down here just because I don't like the way its mechanics work with other things. That's the only reason it's down here. I'll leave it here. It's my tier list, I'm going to leave him down here. I just don't like this thing fundamentally. That's it. Gumnuts. This thing is overpowered as hell, but I really do like this thing. It's a shame it's overpowered. This thing, with how Gumnut works, that it basically creates gum around every zombie that hits. But it also converts like the enemy's HP into the HP of the gum itself. And it has some very unique traits. It's a very interesting concept for like a stalling plant, which is a very unique way to get stalls to be better as well. Like, it stacks with like sapling and such, and it just makes a really unique concept. I like Gumnut a lot. I like Gumnut. Unfortunately, it's just way too busted, so I can't busted's in vanilla, but I'm ignoring vanilla here. Entirely. Because I personally like this thing a lot. I'll just dump Boom Bloom here. You know my reasonings for this already, I think. I don't like Boom Bloom. It's below average. I can't put it much lower, but it's below average. Fine, I'll put Spore below average as well. Grimrose, average. It's fine. Nothing really wrong with it. It's just kind of whatever. Moonflower, above average. I really like the way it works as a sun producer, and I think it's like really interesting in that regard. I quite like it. Dust Globber. I don't like the way its powered form works. I think it prefers like its powered form to like... If its powered form 5 like PF Prime Lampood like shots, I think I'd much prefer this thing. Maybe. But as is, it's just kind of... Shadowbee! I prefer it over Dust Globber, I think. Yes, I do. I like the idea of how stalling works. It has some unique traits to it. Its hiding trait is really interesting for me, because it is unlike other plants that you can definitely see where you put this thing. So I definitely think this guy is off here, I think, overall. We're getting close to the end now. So yeah, Jacko. I like Jacko. In both forms, I think Jacko's really interesting. In his first form, Jacko is just fun. And quirky and fun, and quirky and fun. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm got a bit lost there. Jacko, I think what makes Jacko interesting is the fact that in both versions, it has the highest DPS in the entire game. New Jacko I don't like as much as the old one, but I've played with it a good bunch of times and it's still very fun. Its damage output is very strong, it still has unique traits. The main issue with Jacko nowadays is just that it's kind of so unreliable. If Jacko was like way more reliable, then this thing would just be best of best, even in all combinations. As is, very good, works fine for me. I think it's like more interesting like Shadowpea, Choke, Wasabi. I think it goes up here. This thing is fun. What highest DPS what? Yeah, Jacko is highest DPS in the game. It's one of the few plants who can kill Bucketheads in a single shot. It's insane. Jacko these days is auto, yeah. It automatically fires. I don't like it as much, but whatever. It's still good enough. A Nightjade. Average. I want to put in below average, but I'll put in below average. Actually, I think it's worse than your Shadow Plants. Its powered form doesn't really buff its ability to hit things in melee, which seems like a totally missed opportunity to me. If this thing like only didn't have a range attack and just did its melee, I'd prefer this thing. Its range attack just kind of muddles it all up for me. I don't know what this thing's meant before. But it could have been like a very unique melee plant. Like, up the recharge rate, slow down its fire rate, now in its non-powered form, it's like an instant. In its powered form, it's now going to be more unique. Its powered form is now like a melee attack plant for Shadow Plants. That's not quite how it ended up though, sadly. Electric Current. Average. I put it like here if it didn't have a redirect. Actually, I'll put it here. I think this thing's a good middle ground. Electric Current, it creates like barriers between the place you put it, so it's a very interesting plant to use. It's very much relies on like a lot of plants to work well, but I do quite like this thing. Electric Current strategies is generally very unique, so I quite like this thing. Celebrating Headbutt have the highest DPS in the game. Nope. Jacko does. It's insane. Like, the DPS per burst, I guess. I'm specifically saying that. Like, it's the only plant where it attacks like over time it does that much damage. Which... Average. Its ability sucks, but its ability to instant kill zombies is alright. I think it's alright. It can be fun. It works, you play into a lot of strategies with it. It's just kind of got an ability that seems to do nothing. Nah, I'll put it above average. I'd say I like it just as much as I like Chomper. Which is an above average somewhere, right? Yeah. Shrink. Really fun concept. Really fun callback to PVZ 1, which I really appreciate. Mechanically, it's interesting. It's got a very unique ability. I think it's more interesting than Cherry Bomb is, at least visually. I think this was definitely overpowered, but everything is in this game. You just get used to it. I like this thing. I think it's going to use some unique abilities for it. I can see this thing being very cool in mods and such. Exploder Nuts. I don't like Exploder Nut very much. It kind of just happens. Worrying about where you put this thing down is not really a factor when using it, so it's just kind of whatever. Impair, below average. I just think it's just Chili Bean again, but less interesting to me. I don't like what Impair really adds. It doesn't really add much to me. It just kind of exists. This place is perfect for it for me. Though I know this thing's like really powerful in Arena. I know that much. Next one, Tumbleweed, below average. Too random. Conceptually, it has some interesting traits. Fun. It's very fun, I imagine, for some people. It's my tier list, though, and it's way too random for me to really enjoy it very much. So, yeah. Impair fans are in shambles. True. Why don't I like Cauliflower? It's just Electric Current again, just kind of whatever. That's it. It's Electric Current. Yep, no E-Berry. Cauliflower's E-Berry again, just less interesting to me. And its ability to target Gogs is just straight up dumb. I'm gonna do the Power Vine next. This is one I have to look into though. Because I'm not totally sure if this thing works. There's a million ads time, let's go. Everybody loves ads. They're awesome. Sounds like kind of like Moonflower Resident Attacker. I know like what its vague idea is, I'm just not sure how like shots work. Oh, god damn it. I didn't mean to press that. Okay, I'm looking for how the shots work, really. So when they get adjacent to each other, they get buffed. I think. How the How does this work then? 'Cause I'm not totally sure. I'm really specifically talking about how its shots actually fire. Okay, so when there's one... No, wait, we're still seeing how one works, okay. It just fires twice when it's powered then, I guess. How many shots does it fire when it's not powered? Okay. Do we see it not powered? No, we don't. Okay, cool. Thank you, Zach Scott. They're very cool. It fires 3 times though, wait. It's firing 2 times before, right? Well, whatever. I'll say it just fires fires up like 3 times if it's connected with other things. I'm not sure if that's even correct. But it's average. I prefer these other two, but this is not really listed in order anyways. I think I do prefer it over the other 2 vines, but not enough. If I saying and powered, it was firing 3 there. Don't know what was going on. I have no clue. I'll say it's here. That seems perfect for me. Wouldn't it be cool if Powervine buffed plants' attack speed if it were in it? I'd have probably disliked it more, to be honest. I don't like buffing plants very much. Moving on. Shadow Shroom. Powered form sucks. Just outright. Normally, it's just the worst chili bean. It has a really strong plant food effect, but I don't think that's enough to save this thing. Which sucks, I think this thing is like one of the best designs in the game. Look at him. He's adorable. But he's so bad. What? He doesn't do anything, ever. Come on. I'm very upset. Powered Shadow Shroom. Powered Shadow Shroom, like... buffs. So Shadow Shroom kind of does... Shadow Shroom, when Shadow formed, its poison will spread to zombies around it, but it's a nightmare to use and doesn't work because it's powered anyways. So you only like buff plants on Shinevine. Yeah. Shinevine buffing plants is just part of its ability. You can kind of like add what it adds to plants, just kind of like... You don't really add it... Give me a second to explain this. I'm trying to think how to say this properly. With Shinevine, you can kind of sort it out. So that normally, you can kind of like calculate it as if it's just like a plant producing something on its own. It just leaves you over another plant instead. Is 3 put on there? Yes, it is above average. Blooming Heart. Has there ever been a Blooming Heart that's good? Like, ever. I can't think of a time when Blooming Heart has been an effective choice. Its unique ability, though. It does got a unique ability. Every time it hits, all damage to a target from Blooming Heart increases. I just don't think it's ever been particularly helpful. So that's kind of why I'm hesitant. You know, even at least, Tier of Blooming Heart's good, but that's because of stun, which I don't think it normally has. I think average is fine for this thing. GT Blooming is all we're talking about, sadly. Gold Bloom. I don't... Why? The Freestyle Producer, nothing interesting to it. Just straight up sun. Boring concept. Tactically, you use it. Fun, you use it. Tactically, it does something, but that's just something, so it's not like... Here, but no. I'll play for this thing in very good, I think. I like Soul Tomato. It does some interesting things. It does a lot of things, actually. Stun is like a Stola, which produces sun. You don't just put it down as just automatically gives you sun. There's like something you have to do to make it give you sun. Has synergy as a result. I like this thing. I think it's a good insta. I think it works. Yeah, it is just a more interesting Sunshroom. Sticky Bomb Rice. It stuns zombies and explodes on them. Above average? I guess. I'm not too familiar with Sticky Bomb Rice, but it seems like an above average plant for me. And Octarine, I was thinking average. It slows zombies down an area around itself, and its power bomb is better, so it has that unique back and forth. Technically useful with Gloomvine, which is, yeah, sure, I'm not gonna complain. It's just kind of icky. I don't know. I'm not sure how to feel in this thing. I don't think anybody does. Apparently Racing Chain Explode. Yeah, they do. Right. Just solely berry effect. More complicated than that. Way more complicated than that. And next up, Olive Pit. Let's get Olive Pit done. Above average. Just as another Chomba clone, but I like it. It has a unique aspects I like. I don't love it like I do Toadstool, but it's alright. It's got some solid unique traits. Rhubarbarian. Below average. But Rhubarbarian jumps from space to space, which is technically unique. But what does it do? A Tigrass in the same space, I think. I think these two are very similar in a lot of regards. They just kind of don't click with me. I don't know how to use these guys in strategies, so I'm just gonna put them below average for now. They're not awful. I can see there's space for them to do something, but no, not for me. Broccoli, I also don't like. His visuals look incredibly dumb. His plant food is literally a PNG, which is not good. It's just kind of a tall node Snapdragon with stun. Okay. Pumpkin, average, nothing unique to it. Most vines are average, I just don't really care for them, I don't think. I've noticed. Like, every vine is an average. I think Pumpkin has some flaws, I think it's just fine. It's not technically... No, but it can work with melee plants better than others can. Now, I'll put above average. I think I should put one vine up here. Pumpkin is what a vine should be, with wild plant on the plant and does something unique. It does work with like Chomper and Fat Beat. I don't think it's great, but I do think it's about above average. Man, Gatling Bee! It's a repeater times 2. It's a Peashooter times 4. It randomly plant foods itself for some reason. Yeah. Electric Peashooter. Very unique projectile. The issue is I just don't know how to use this thing. Like, mechanically, how to use this thing differently from other attackers? Like, Free Peter, you know, you have to leave different lanes open. Prompt Peashooter is a support. Stop tier plants needs heavy support. Really plays differently. Very unique plant. Requires support. Very good support. Really fun to use. Bowling. You kind of see what I mean? I think I'm going to put it above average because I just don't see how it affects fact strategy too much. I think it makes sense. So Shadow Peashooter, it's a better Dusklobber. It's got so many traits, it's just better than Dusklobber. Isn't Blockly a ripoff of a Chinese plant? Kinda. I have no interest in it. Was it Opinion of Marigold? We'll get to it later. Goopy? Can I put it at very good? Goopy has some unique traits, some very unique traits. It's a stackable staller, which stacks with itself, so it stalls zombies hard. It's a poison plant, so it pierces armor. It does a lot of things right. But very good. Very unique plant overall, does a lot of things unique. Animations are very fun. I appreciate that it's not just a Peashooter, but again, in many ways. I think very good is good for Goopy. I just don't think it's great. Daisy Chain takes a certain amount of shots to grow, very slow in doing so, and requires certain shots. It just becomes a better staller, which stuns and doesn't even stall. Doesn't even store like solar gas. Below average. It's not terrible, I just don't care for it very much. Like, all these plants here are kind of like... they're fine, I just don't like them very much. Pretty much. These plants are fine, I don't care for it all. Headbed lettuce. Average. Unlike the other plants which have similar kind of gimmicks, it's just kind of why. Headbed is the one that feels missing. I don't know what it's meant to do. Like, I feel like putting Parson or Soybean above average bonk is already questionable. I can't just like Headbutter in any way. It's just another another melee plant with nothing unique to separate out beyond stun. Oh geez, such a unique trait to have on a melee plant. Finally, Buttercup. Very good. I like Buttercup. Plays very interestingly, very unique early game staller, very unique mid game staller too. I think this works. So yeah, I think that's about all of these. That's all of them. Except for Marigold, because I have actual new set of plants here, which we'll be going through next. But, yeah. Zooming out. This is a very long tier list, but... I think there's a bit more, actually. Can I cut the entire thing on screen? Yeah, I can. Neat. So, yeah. This is every plant so far. I'm gonna give like a few minutes for people to comment on things and think I've missed. We're doing Marigold later. I have like all PVZ1 plants here. We'll be doing a few PVZ1 plants. Mayflower, Vambuccini, Chili Pepper, we're doing soon. Just the entire thing. Can I just kind of... Yeah. Does anybody have any big issues with this tier list before we head into the next set? Just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. I think all the best of best plants deserve to be up there. They're very unique, they all do very good things. Very good plants are all fairly good. They do things that are interesting or have unique traits that define a strategy. I think E-Berry's a bit low. I'll bump it up here. Chili Bean... I like Chili Bean less than Potato Mine, I think, so I'll put us down in average. Prawn Potato is a good iteration of Potato Mine, but I don't think it's better than Potato Mine, so I think it's the right set for it. Hocus and Prawn will be a 5 for me. Pomegranate, I prefer one Grape Shot. Yep. Okay. I'll have you running in that there, I think. Big issue is Marigold being honest. We're doing Marigold later. Give me a second. We're doing Meteor and Vampire 2 later. I know. Another missing. I'm just kind of going through things for now. Because this is like the last I can change all of these plans, so I'm kind of going through it all. Cocoa, average. Yeah, I think it's perfect for it. Soybean average feels weird, but I think that's kind of where I'd put it. I don't think there's anywhere else it can really be. Melon, sure, fine. Homing, fine. Pepper, fine. Papaya, Blackberry, fine. Onion, fine. Hayfees, fine. Loda bar. Dandelion average. It does have unique traits. I'll bump it up to you. Yeah. Because of the existence of those unique traits, it's better than, like, Melon Pulled, I think. Icona Cannon has a lot of plants that do the same thing it can. Dandelion has something it can do that no other plant can do, which I think is generally the above average tier, as a whole. A lot of these plants do something cool or fancy that I quite appreciate. Everything in average, I think Nocturne feels kind of weird here, but I think Nocturne is fitting here. Below average, you three are fine. Doom Tangle, I do still agree with. Wintermelon, Snappy, Solar Sage, yep. I think I'm good with them. I'm happy with them all, I think. Yep. And the other two tiers are just kind of mostly fill plants, which I don't like for obvious reasons. Okay. So, give me a second. Oh, well, I've got my emulator open. Why is it open? I didn't even realize it was open. Whatever. Give me a second. I'll get to see this sort out, so I can continue working on it. Send me with seconds, I have to like drag this in, make sure it's like sized properly, so we can actually use it. Huh. I have to like try to split this thing in half, I think, just try to get it on the thing properly. Nice, okay. Timing yourselves, I guess, for a bit, I don't know. I'm trying my hardest here. No. It'll do just fine. So, give something out quickly. The Void, yeah, the Void is awesome. I do really, I like the Void. I don't even get this to work. I don't think I can. Oh well. I was really going to talk about the rest of these plants, but I can't really do that, so... I had like a GIMP thing open, which had the rest of these plants, but... Doesn't seem like it's going to let me do that, so... Okay, I'll just close the stream off and coming with the free plants that aren't in this list. Because they were added later on the stream, so yeah. Just gonna jump again. Should be right. Yep. Nice. It's annoying me that I can't really get the rest of these PVZ plants on here, but I can do it at my own time, I think, when I post this online. Probably interesting. Vamachini, when placed, will absorb HP around itself, then just give up. Below average. If it did it more, then I'd like a thing more and it'd be like average or above average. Nothing really standing out here for me. Chili pepper, is that like a 393 jalapeno, I think? Hey, is it? Hold on. Heavy damage to zombies and radius damage to tiles in his lane, freezing. Okay, so it's like a jalapeno that... Right. So basically it's kind of like a triple jalapeno with 2 weaker jalapenos to either side. Meh. Does anybody feel strongly about this thing? It seems like it's way too controlling, but I'm gonna put this thing in above average. Or average, I think. I think it's reasonable for it. Does anybody have any complaints? Like, the accurate experience hasn't changed a bit. Yeah, it hasn't. The Void is gone now, sad. I think it's jalapeno, but chill and vertical. It seems to be just a triple jalapeno, from the sounds of it. Yeah, because it would say columns otherwise, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. Finally, Meteor Flower. Very good. Meteor Flower, how it works is that it kind of has like a cooldown period, then just like nukes the field with meteors everywhere. That's cool. That's a very unique, like, kind of board control plant. Kind of like an old banana. I really like this thing. I think this thing's like really cool. One of those plants I really am looking forward to seeing mods use eventually. I'm really, really hyped for that. And yeah, that's all of them. Marigold. There you go. Marigold's now on the tier list. So, yeah. This is the complete tier list now. What a stream! It was fun to go through this and just look at all these plants and how I think of them. So these plants I do need to use more. I need to use Inferno and Strawburst more. Powervine I really need to get look into at some point as well. Nocturne too. I don't know Nocturne very well, but maybe someday I can find it useful. Maybe. These guys... I know these guys fairly well, I think. Blockly I need to use more. I don't like Blockly though, fundamentally. These two I don't understand well. Jefferdale is dumb. So, yeah. That's the tier list. Finally, Magenta community post something. I do will actually, yeah. I'll be posting this in like the community tab at some point soon. White void now. Okay. So, yeah. Shall we finish off then, I think? I think we're fine here now. So yeah, that's whatever we planned. We've talked about every single plan now. I might turn this to a video later, but we'll see. I think I should probably turn this music off now. You've been listening to music for like ages now. So, yeah. This has been Creeps. Have a good one.